Welcome to Kaumudy Global. On Thursday, October 27th, the unrelenting protest by fisherfolk against Vizhinjam port under the leadership of the Latin Archdiocese of Thiruvananthapuram entered the 100th day. The protesters decided to intensify their struggle as they are not satisfied with the LDF government's response. The protesters say the government is taking arbitrary decisions with the sole intention of misleading the poor fisherfolk. In turn, the government continues to maintain that some outside forces are adding fuel to the fire in order to destroy Kerala's development. It is also clear that the government will not budge an inch on its firmly stated position that coastal erosion was not the fallout of port construction. It is also clear that the government will not budge an inch on its firmly stated position that coastal erosion was not the fallout of port construction. Stopping construction work is the primary demand of the striking coastal folk. But this has been declared non-negotiable by the government. The work cannot be stopped at whatever cost, Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan had declared in the Assembly. Now let us go through the timeline of the Vizhinjam project. June 10, 2015. Cabinet decides to award the project to Adani Ports and SEZ Limited. August 17, 2015, the Kerala government and Adani Ports decide to sign the construction agreement. December 3, 2019, Adani Group misses the first deadline to complete the port work. July 20, 2022, protest begins in front of Secretariat. August 16th, protests shift to Mullur. October 17th, road blockade protest being held. October 27th, land and sea protest is planned. 5 rounds of talks with cabinet subcommittee happen, and Latin Church reads out 6 pastoral letters to mobilize community. Actually, the church started the protest by demanding the government to stop port construction and study its ecological impact by involving coastal people, fair compensation and rehabilitation for loss of property and houses, compensation for fishermen who lost work days due to adverse weather warnings, ensuring smooth navigation at Mudalappuzhi harbour, providing subsidized kerosene as done in Tamil Nadu, rent-free accommodation for people who lost houses and rehabilitation of families affected by sea erosion. The government agreed to meet some of their demands, but still the protesters are not satisfied. The important question is what made them wait for 7 years to begin the protest. That too when the project is on its way to completion. Now, the Central Intelligence Bureau has started an investigation on the suspicion that 10 voluntary organizations in the coastal region, which are providing indirect support to the ongoing strike, are receiving foreign funds. This follows the allegation that the massive strike, which is continuing despite the court verdict, police action and government intervention, is aimed at sabotaging the Vizhinjam project for the sake of foreign ports. The IB had started collecting information based on the complaint filed by Thiruvananthapuram Chamber of Commerce and Industry President S.N. Raghunathan Nair to Union Home Minister Amit Shah against the strike. In his complaint, Raghunathan Nair alleged that a foreign lobby centered on Dubai, Sri Lanka and China is behind the strike. He also attached hate speeches delivered at the protest site and various documents with the complaint. IB is now checking the bank accounts of certain organizations and suspicious individuals. Some are under observation. Officials had come for secret surveillance in areas including Vizhinjam and Mudalappuzhi. The officials are observing those who come to the protest site and the speeches they deliver. They are also secretly capturing pictures of suspicious persons. The Home Ministry is taking the protest very seriously as it is a matter of national interest. Now there are some questions that need to be answered. Are those supporting the agitation receiving foreign funding? Is the agitation destroying the social atmosphere? Is the agitation organized by violating the provisions of the law? Are the protesters destroying law and order in the area? These points will be brought under the scope of investigation. Meanwhile, the IB investigation has found that some people who had supported the agitation against the Kodankulam nuclear power plant in Tamil Nadu had received foreign funds. Some organizations have alleged that the same model is being employed here also. The IB is also examining the strike committee's insistence that the construction of the port should be stopped despite the state government accepting their various demands. Now, those who protest and support the protest should realize that there have been no construction activities at Vizhinjam project site for the past 100 days. There have been rupees 200 crore loss on account of interest. So far, rupees 4,000 crore have been spent for the project. 75% of the construction is complete and it is expected to be completed by May 2023. Protesters and pro-protesters should think whether it is morally and logically right from their part to sabotage this project that would bring prosperity to Kerala and India at large.